Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. My name is Nilaus and we are here on GLEBA. We're going to continue on working on this one for so that we get some structure, and we have some nice little builds. But two things before we dive into today's program. I've done a lot of infrastructure between sessions so that we can focus on the build here. I have the perimeter around here, we have a nice grid, and we have a nice roboport coverage. So this looks like a nice place. We have a space here for a potential bus if you want to do that. I've hooked up a little bit more of these of the plants, so that means that we can focus on the building and design today. Oh, also another power plant, because once they work, they work. So that was the one thing. The other thing is the grave mistake that I made, and may have misguided you, that we're going to be fixing. But first, also just aside from fixing that mistake, what we're going to do today is we're going to get some science back to Novice, so setting that production up, and we're going to get some plastic and some sulfur, because those are kind of the last things we need to make. Then we have all of the builds in terms of these modules here, and then we can start sort of piecing it together to a more grand design. The grave mistake. Well, here it is. Something called yummy value. What the hell is a yummy value? You can see here, this one has energy value 6 megawatt, but the nutrients have a yummy value of 2 megajoule. That is weird, but the yummy value is needed for nutrients, or only nutrients have yummy value, and the yummy value is the value that goes into here. So I had some comments about like, this efficiency beacon doesn't do anything because they don't use electricity, and I was like, of course they do. This says max consumption 1.1 megawatt, and you can see this max consumption 1.1. It's 120. If I take this out, it goes to 1.7. So of course it is, but that's of course not electricity that's being used. That is yummy value. That is the value coming in here, but it still is affected by both upwards with the productivity modules, and also downwards with the efficiency modules. So I was thinking, yeah, this is nice. 1.1 megawatt of power is not a problem. That's who cares? But it's actually not that. It means that it's 1.1 megawatt of yummy value. So that means it's, since 1 watt is 1 joule per second, that means that this was actually consuming 2 per second, because it consumes, really, it looks like it should, this doesn't look like 1 every 2 seconds. Well, let's say this is 1 every 2 seconds. It should be a little bit more than that. If it was 1, so that means that, for example, let's look at, if I do this part, so we really scale it up, then you can see this goes way quicker. And on the other hand, if we put this in, and we also take this out, we need some more of these here. Then we can see this goes down way slower. So this means if we have infinite amount of nutrients, which we absolutely do not have now and certainly can't handle, then maybe it's not worth putting these productivity modules on everything. Now it's absolutely worth it to put it on the science part, but probably not on all the other parts, because it actually consumes way more yummy value, which then in turn means that, can we even keep up with this part? Well, yes, actually we can. So right now it's not really a problem, but at some point we might not be able to keep up with this here. So that's something to keep in mind. That means basically the answer to this is, I will take these modules out and rely on the 50% productivity modules. That's just much better, because then I go from consuming 1.1 megawatt to consuming 0.1 megawatt. Makes a huge difference. So the first thing we really want to do is make sure that we get our science back again. So we're going to be setting up the science hauler to also now be taking the agricultural science, and this is why we actually have this setup here, which is much nicer. If we look at these here, it says when the cargo is 0, then go to Fulgora, then it will basically go quickly back and forth. And this means that we're going to be making another one, which will be GLEBA, and it will be obviously agricultural science. There we go. And then that will be a condition is that when we have items on the ship, that one equal to 0, then we are going to add an interrupt. But I think I actually want more, because I want to go there, and then I want to make sure that I can go back again immediately. So I think that we want to make sure that we have very high amounts of of quantity here, or maybe even take this down a bit. So I'm gonna say I also want to make sure that the circuit conditions here, they are set so that they are a little bit high before they even depart. It must be above 30,000 because I want to make sure that we can get there and get back again. There. And then we're going to get the conditions. Oh, and then if you do that, go to GLEBA. That's not it. There we go. All these must be true. And if that's the true, then we go there. Wait condition is everything is satisfied. Or, funny how it jumps up. Or we've waited for there for 60 seconds. I will not wait there for more than 60 seconds. There. That's the condition. No matter if the fuel is high enough or not, we'll just leave. And the ammo as well, we'll just leave. That's the essence, because we don't want to be staying there and letting our science rot there. Then we're going to be getting here. I'm going to say 4,000. It already leaves as soon as I did that. And there we go. Interplanetary science. Then we do the other checks. That is, let's kick this out. We did do a check here and saying that this one. Why do you not have science? Oh, because you have science. Is that? Oh, interplanetary science. Yeah, okay. So this one's always just requesting it in here. Great. And in order for me to actually make it work, then I also have to add this one. This is a setup that will eventually be changed because it's a little weird, this part, but not right now. So our science hauler is coming in, and we should see that we are launching the rockets with our measly amount of science here. I think we have a little bit of an issue here. We don't have a rocket silo. I think that might be part of the reason why things are not working as well as we had hoped. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to need to make some rocket silos. I'm going to do this for our ammo production. It is a little bit overambitious, this part of ammo production, but whatever. So, let's make sure that we get some rocket. I was like, why is it nothing launching? And that's pretty obvious. We did not have anyone actually bothering to build some rocket silos. We should have the ingredients. Yeah, we do. It'll just take a little bit of time. And we're going to build over here exactly as we do on the other planets. And no, actually, Fulgora is the best example. Hello, Fulgora. It's been a while. I'll take this example here. And then I'm actually going to be making 4 of these fellas here. That's good. And that will also mean you need to be a nice square, and you need to also be a nice civilized square. There we go. Well, that's going to take a little time. We just need the first 2 to go in so we can actually launch here. First rocket is launching, and the second one is right behind it. The next one is here, and we should be seeing that comes in. The other one, I have actually gone against my own wishes, or what I said. I actually set it up incorrectly, but I wanted to set it up like this for the first time. I said that it's all requests satisfied, and this has passed. That's, of course, should be an or, but I'm not going to do that yet because I want one more inbound. Oh, 960. Oh, they must have expired. Oh no! Now we have struggling with getting them to be built before they expire. All right, so I'm going to wait and hope that this goes to 1,000. Come on, what are you waiting for? You're waiting for... Are you not producing enough of these? I really felt really confident about this one. Maybe it's because it's 0.33, so it's 0.2 net positive here. And this is consuming way more. Okay, yeah, this is not keeping up. So this might actually be one of those where I actually have to use productivity modules here to make sure that it keeps up. That doesn't really keep up at all. And then it might be here. And then we're going to be really struggling with keeping up with our... with the nutrient here for sure. So I'm pretty sure this has to be significantly more requested. Here we go. We got everything in. We are then going to change this to... Did I just click it away? I think I did. That was not what I wanted. I wanted to do here that it was an or command. So it's either wait 60 seconds or go there. Okay, so this one, now we go back. And at on novice, we should drop it in. And we should be able to see if we have all this done. And this will then be set up. This has been prepared. There we go. So that gets us another one. Let's switch the signs so that we get the stuff that we actually need here. That was going to be efficiency modules, and we do captivity. Captivity is really interesting. Something that we do in a separate episode for sure. So maybe we'll do carbon fiber first, and then going into a lot of these other ones. Here we are. We just dropped things off the rocket, and we're just following it all the way back just to see that the whole thing is now automated, and we can then rely on just sitting back, relaxing, and then the science hauler will take care of the rest. Whenever we have signs, or we have a lack of signs coming in here, then sure, we'll get it. And it is coming in, and we should start seeing the first little pip on this, and we can go back to GLEBA as we go in here. It splits in, and oof, like look at the red and greens. They are awful right now. Luckily they're stacking up a little bit. Ah man, that's why is it actually so awful? It's just awful, right? It's just awful. Don't know if that helps. There we go, and they are coming in. We see the first little bit of greens. Perfect. Back to GLEBA. So what do we want to do? We want to now make a plastic build. So plastic build is going to be, well, pretty much the same as some of the other builds. Let's take this as a premise, as a sort of baseline here, and use that. We'll just empty it out a little bit before. There. So plastic, you say. Plastic is super efficient to build on this planet, and once you build it on this planet, you're actually going to export it back to Volcanus. This is why that some people have been asking me why that my plastic build or my lubricant and plastic build on Volcanus, why I've not provided a blueprint for it. It's because it's very temporary, because I want to produce plastic from here. Bioflux, cheap, and your macro mash, infinite. So, but it is kind of high quantities. So we're going to be taking, I think we're going to be taking 2 lines around it. 1 line around will be for the nutrients. Yep. No, but the closest line should actually be for the most important stuff, I would say. So now comes the beautiful, beautiful spaghetti. It's not even spaghetti, it's just beautiful. So we're gonna get these things in. That will get it in from the top lane. You're gonna get it in from the top lane. You also need to get things in from the top lane. So that goes here and here. So now they all get something from the top lane. Now they need to get something from the inner lane. Inner lane, inner lane, and inner lane, and inner lane. And then we have the contingency of what if. There's the what if here. I actually really want this to be also having an icon here. That one. There. And then I take this beautiful design, rotate it, and then smash it down here. There we go. So there you now have everything they want from the 2 outer belts. We need to get things on the belt. And the quantity is 4.5 plus 4.5, so that's 9. And that's 18, that's 36. So 36 per second is really nice for such a small build here. I can actually put it out on, I think I actually want to put it out on 1 build. Right, why not? There. So that means this is why we do this here. That's our 1 belt, and it is going to be constrained. There we go. And we get stuff outbound, and this will of course also include the outbound of the anything that turns into spoilage inside the machines. So we need to make sure that we actually handle both the normal and the spoilage, and we're gonna just do here. I think we need to, since we have 2 belts, then we need to do this double belt to be able to catch the spoilage like this. This is what we've been doing, and really like this. Like once you lock in on some designs, just keep using them. If they work, they're good. Keep using them. There we go. So that's like how we deal with that. Then we're gonna need to have here. That will simply go. We might get it out on the belt, but honestly, I think that we're just going to be putting it into some boxes here. And these boxes will be labeled as plastic. And I'll pick up anything, not just On the other hand, it would also be nice if I could, since I can't smash it in here, then we could also just have this available for just taking out the trash, literally. Alright, well, I think that's maybe good. We need to get things in on this belt. So one thing is going to be, where do we put in the logistics or the nutrients? Over here, if I want to get this in, let's say the outer belt is what we need it for, then I'm gonna get this will come over from here. That'll just go straight in, easy. Then the bioflux will then be on the other side, so I need to have some kind of here that goes like this, and that will be, this will be bioflux, and that will go in. Then I also need to get the nutrients in, which can just be here actually. Why not? I think that's fine, because it just goes on the inner belt will be nutrient, the outer belt will be the bioflux, and yeah. It kind of feels, and I don't want to save it because I could sort of just save it and then have two of them coming in here. I think this is fine. It's not like really high quantities of anything. 4, 8, 16, 32. It's actually a lot of biosludge, but it's still not even a full belt. So we of the Yamako. We'll do this way. There we go. We are now ensuring that both of these are looking at the belt. If there's less than 50, enable the requester. If there's less than 50, enable the requester. That's good. The only thing missing is now taking this part. Good. And heading it in here. And we might not have enough of this eventually, but this should start up itself, and I will then also get a here. That will get us any of the spoilers will just be sent in here immediately. Oops, that's going to be changed as well. There we go. And do we have plastic? There's one plastic. Yay, we get plastic. Not a lot of plastic yet, but hey, there we go. What is missing? Yamako. Yamako is kind of missing. What is the missing on this one? Oh yeah, here. We need way more of this. Way more. And it also seems to be going in here instead of going out. I really don't want it to be going in. Honestly, this is not going to be storage. This is simply going to be just flow. Happy flow. This storage is also way too much. I think we just need a little bit of storage. Like maybe just 2 stacks of storage or something. Because I really don't want to use this for storage, because then it goes up and then gets transported by... We want to transport everything with belts if we can. So this is also looking nice. And bioflux is keeping up. I mean, we have tons of bioflux. We actually have too much bioflux, but that's a different matter. Great. We have plastic. We have massive amounts of plastic actually. So that's really nice. Should we put some more lights in? Yeah. Is there anywhere where we can consistently put more lights in? There we go. That's where we can put lights in. Sweet. All right. Onwards to the next. What is the next? Next is actually going to be sulfur, which is an interesting beast, to be honest. Because sulfur is, first of all, we're going to do that. Oh, we don't have it because someone is using it for making rockets. Okay. This just went to GLEBA in hopes of finding more science, but alas, there is but naught for science yet. Why? 1. Oh, 600 and something and 200 something. So it wasn't quite 1,000 to send off the first rocket. Oh well. Right. We're gonna do sulfur. So let's do a build as the other one. Let's just do look at what sulfur takes. It's a little bit different because sulfur is actually taking spoilage and bioflux and then nutrients. So there's less ingredients in here. If there's less ingredients, that means this straight line thing here is probably advantageous. It's also interesting to see how much. It's 5 that. Okay, so let's do the preliminary design based on this one here. All I did was honestly just to change the recipe, so that should be fine. And we can just send it directly in because it's not going to expire. It's literally spoiled to begin with. And so this is interesting. This is a bad design because it, first of all, it is not able to keep up with the belts. Even though I have tons of stuff here, it's not able to keep up. So this is not really how I want it to be done. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to do a little bit of spaghetti here. A little bit more than I like. And just to get it in here. I think it's important to have one place that consolidates this. And it will, these requesters are always sort of taking lower priority than anything else. And then we're gonna be just filtering something out here. And getting some sulfur. And why is it not working? It's not working because we forgot the other one. That is actually gonna be... we got a requester here. That is literally exactly what we need. That is perfect. There. It will request some bioflux, and only when it is necessary or when it's less than 50. And we are now starting to make some glorious sulfur. Why are we actually needing to make sulfur? Well, it's a little bit of a long story. Two things though. First of all, Volcanus has a lack of sulfur, which is really weird. Fulgora doesn't have great sulfur either, and actually neither have Novice. I think this is just the easiest way to make sulfur. It's from scrap or from spoilage, so yeah, easy. But the other thing is we can make rockets, explosives. Explosives can be made into rockets. Rocket can be used in rocket turrets. Rocket turrets can be made here on can be only made, right? Isn't that they can only be made here? No, they can actually be made everywhere. But they need carbon fiber. That's why. So we need carbon fiber in order for us to actually produce this. And this one, will, as you can see, will run pretty damn quick, and then it'll be stalling out and not really doing anything aside from this. So this will be a very quiet one. It'll just be churning along, and then we'll have sulfur as much as we could dream of. Right. Well, we think we have one more thing, and that is actually literally the carbon fiber that is coming in here. So that's carbon and Yumako mesh. Yumako mesh, so we need more Yumako mesh. And I'm actually going to be making another Yumako mesh. Now this feels a little bit bad to put that here because the last Yumako mesh should be here. But we also need to have a production of carbon. That is not a great carbon recipe. Is there an alternate recipe? Yes, burnt spoilage. So we also need more spoilage to burn it. So we need to burn it into carbon, and then we use the carbon here to make the carbon fiber. That one. We took it with a lot of Yumako mesh. So that means the next thing we want to do is actually just maybe shuffle things around a little bit because we want another Yumako mesh here that can go in, and then we need some more ways of handling our spoilage, because we're having a lot. We're getting a lot of spoilage out of this, and I think we need to consolidate the spoilage and then make a dedicated, the stuff we need from spoilage. And the stuff we need from spoilage is nutrients, it is sulfur, and it is then carbon fiber. Well, actually carbon and then carbon fiber. Let me think about how we can shuffle this around a little bit. So a little bit of shuffling around here has sort of fixed it, I think. And what we do here is now we can build this nutrient. This will be sort of taking all the residual spoilage. I will then kind of destroy this. This is also not working. Let's clean that up. So we kind of have a separate row here for all the spoilage based. And I'm going to take these as requesters out. That means this one here will retire soon. And then I will just be leading, instead I'll be leading everything upwards. And that means, oh, that's going to be a little bit more complicated to get this up here. Basically now we have a lot better structure. We have two of these going in, two of the jelly nuts going into two that primarily use jelly nuts. We have some Yumako going in here for the bioflux, and one dedicated for the plastic. And then the last one we'll have here, which we need to scale up, of course, is going to be for the eventually. Yeah, this is, let's do it here. This will be carbon fiber. So carbon fiber needs a lot of Yumako mesh. So I go straight in. But carbon is not actually something that needs a lot. So carbon will just be brought in by rockets. So let's do carbon first. It's going to be a simple build like this, I think. Let's get the basics here, and carbon, burnt carbon, like that, like that. I don't think we need this one. And let's see, this generates just needs spoilage, and then some. So again, I think we want just to go in. This is 1, 2, 3. There's not very much. I don't need a double line here. We can get this a little bit closer, so make it a little bit more compact, and that means inbound, inbound, and out, out. This is the design over on this side as well. And that will be out into 2 boxes like this, which will be then carbon instead. And we could also, and I know that you know that you're saying this already, I could make a spaceship and just drop it down, but right now, I mean, it's spoilage. Spoilage is pretty damn cheap as well. So we get here, we are going to get our little bit of nutrients inbound. There we go, nutrients are inbound, and we have here. So I might as well just do this build and then just bring it in. And this here, this carbon build is just not very important. I'm just gonna say it like it is. It's not very important. It'll be built, and then it'll be stockpiling, and then it'll just be sitting idle 95% of the time. But hey, it's still important. Because here we have Yumako mesh is something that comes in, so we need something that has 2 lanes inbound, and also carbon is just something that floats on the outbound. I think that the one that matches this best is probably here, because this is high quantity. Is it? Yes. High quantity jelly and a little bit of bioflux, and then also some water. So we're going to use this and adapt that to our needs. So just changing the recipe actually does most of the work for us. We, this one was requesting, yeah, you can see here bioflux, and that will just be carbon now. Carbon doesn't expire, so we don't really care about it, but we'll do carbon in the same manner here. That's 100. So we get carbon in. We already have the flux, so the only thing we're missing is yet another one of these outbounds, which will be a little bit tough to feed it. We're definitely going to need a lot more. And that goes straight in. And it'll also be consuming 4, 8, 16, 32. So that's a pretty decent amount. And over here, let's inbound here. And we are now also getting some more spoilage out here. We're definitely getting spoilage. We're definitely sending it upwards, and that will be actually just do like this. There. So now I have 2 sort of dedicated or different lines of spoilage here. There we go. Spoilage coming in, spoilage going out. Most of the spoilage will go in here to make more nutrients, because why not? And it's constraining at these are only picking up when there's less than 500. Right, so do we have this? No, we do not, because we do not have this inbound the Yumako fruit. Yumako fruits will need to be scaled up. The thing is, with what we really want to do here is, where is that science? It is, oh, it's actually, we can do this. We can do the artificial one. Oh, we absolutely want to do that. Absolutely want to do that, because we now have enough seeds. If you look at our, here, we have enough seeds and enough seeds. Good, so that's not a problem. I didn't want to start this too early because I didn't want to use all my seeds. So we need to make some artificial mesh, and that's here. Or artificial soil, because that is going to be super useful for scaling up. That is going to be the nutrient scale. Done. We'll take the other one, and that's not it. There, and the pink one. Right, so do we have the stuff that's being requested? Yes. Landfill is going to be a problem, but we know that. Landfill is going to be a problem. No, it's not. Well, we have a little bit more of landfill. Right, right. So is it getting in? It's getting in a little bit. And of course, we need to scale this up. And we are getting some juicy carbon fiber here. Sweet. All right. Well, that's pretty much all we have. Let's check this against our blueprint that I built. I have not included this blueprint, sorry, but I felt it was kind of useless. This is the carbon, this is the carbon fiber, this is the sulfur, and the only thing we're missing is a recycler for iron and copper. But that, I think, is something we're going to do in the next episode as sort of the last bits of this. Because right now, I can just go out and get a little bit of iron and copper when I need it. Because we don't really need a lot. But it's just nice to have like a steady supply of iron and copper on the planet here. So, that is a really amazing job we did here, I think. And we have another couple of good designs here. And I also corrected my mistake of underestimating the effect of productivity modules here, so we get that. We don't really need it because we have this we have the built-in 50% productivity, which means plastic is going to stable immediately, and rocket fuel stable immediately, sulfur stable immediately, and also carbon soon is going to be very stable, and carbon fiber is going to be stable. So that is going to be amazing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this, and I hope you find it useful. When we get back next time, we're going to be see if we can make some better structure, although I do actually like this structure quite a lot for just getting things rolling, but we need to scale up as well. So thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care and stay effective.